is your advice worth? How much is your advice worth to your clients? I'm asking this like, your advice, please, right? I think that a lot of us, especially when we're in a field like copywriting or most marketing creative fields, where we have like a work product, we have output, it's easy for us to forget the value of the advice that we deliver. And if you forget that, you are very likely to actually undervalue your services because you just think, oh, I'm doing this much work and it's worth this much, right? But the reality is that it can be worth much, much more, even, for example, for a copywriter before you put a pen to paper. So a few years back, I got this client and I was working with him and he was excited to do more projects with me. So he actually flew me out to his office. We did this like tour, all of that, showed me some new products. And I talked to him about the product and we sat down and we had a meeting after the tour. And one particular product, it was actually Lee Bellinger and he was selling a solar power generator, like a backup generator, right? And we sat down and we had this conversation and I saw the price and I thought that price is kind of low. Lee, why are you selling it for this price? And he said, well, that's how much it was when we started. And, we didn't want to overcharge people, but we have been making a lot of upgrades to it. And I said, well, would you be willing to raise the price? And he said, I think so, but by how much? Like, what do you think is a good price? And so we were sitting there in the conference room and I opened up Google and I started searching for competitive products. And basically I suggested that he raise the price by, it was something, I know it was enough to double his profits per unit or double his margin over cost of goods sold per unit. So it's a pretty expensive thing, a big piece of equipment that has to get mailed out and it costs a lot to make. But that didn't mean that there was like the specific price that you had to sell it for, right? And so 5 minutes Googling, talking about price. And I say, well, you should try it for this much. And this was before I even wrote a piece of copy for this generator. Well, he actually does a test. He does the test pretty quickly for the new price versus the old price. And not only does he make a lot more profits per unit with the new higher price, he actually sells more. And I did some math at that point, and it was like $500,000 per year, just based on his volume at that point, was how much that 5-minute conversation was worth. And then we actually went and we sold $1 million worth of the generators within the next couple months. And so the profit just from that was much, much greater. And it's worth remembering that as somebody who provides some valuable service, beyond that service, you have all sorts of knowledge and information and experience that can inform your advice to potential clients or to current clients. So, for example, for me as a copywriter, things that I work with clients on very often are things like funnel design, like what are the steps, what are the elements, right? Pricing, that's a big one. Product creation, I'll actually do offer creation with them. I'll say, hey, that offer doesn't work, but what if we did this and we change these things around and maybe we pull some things from over there, but you create some other new things, and can we make an offer out of that and use that to drive new customers in through the door? Or campaign strategy, like any kind of campaign strategy, being able to sit down with the client and say, well, we could do it this way, but you could do a standard product launch formula, but what if we build in these other elements and so on? And just having all of that at your disposal makes you far more valuable. And then there's things like copy reviews, where if there are other copywriters working on the team, you can provide value there. And you can do this stuff like before, during, and even separate from the work that you're doing. So a lot of times before I actually get a client, we have a conversation where I'm providing a lot of advice and I say, hey, if you work with me, this is how it's going to work, and here's why it's superior, and this is my advice on doing this the right way. During, of course, as part of the work, a lot of times what you can do is you can provide extra strategy, extra insight, extra recommendations for how to get their result better, faster, easier, cheaper, whatever, right? Whatever result they want your advice on how to achieve it. And even separately, I mentioned copy reviews. That's a service that I've offered for a long time, where you don't even necessarily have to be a copywriting client or another kind of client. And you can come to me and get your copy reviewed, and it costs a lot of money, but it's led to multi-million-dollar campaigns and ClickBank best-selling offers and all sorts of stuff. And I'm thinking about this not just because, like, last July for my monthly insiders call for BTMS insiders, I did do a cash for copy reviews, and I explained, like, hey, this is exactly how to make money selling copy reviews. If you're a copywriter, just like, here's how to make money by giving your advice for an hour, right? And I'll include a link in the description to go to that. It's in the archive. So if you become a BTMS Insiders member, you can access the recording of that training. But also because I'm thinking about this because I've actually decided I'm going to do some like demo copy reviews where I'm actually giving my advice on the copy for BTMS Insiders members, and you can watch it like a fly on the wall, and you can kind of see how that's done and learn from that. And that's a skill that you can immediately go out and apply. So my recommendation for you is don't undervalue the advice that you have to give. Your clients will value you much more if you understand the value that you have just in the words that you speak. My name is Roy Furr. This is a video issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I'd love it if you can leave a comment below. Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how valuable you found this recommendation and why. What's your big takeaway or action item? Tap that like button before you go so you get more content like this delivered to you, and so the magical algorithms of the internet will share it with people like you who will find it valuable. Certainly, you can share it with folks directly, and subscribe before you go. The way that you do that is you check out the links in the description. You can subscribe here. You can subscribe at breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com. Get my daily emails Monday through Friday, including these videos and more. And you can subscribe at btmsinsiders.com you can get an all access pass for access to all of my video training, an entire library of over 100 hours of training for copywriters and marketers, teaching you how to write your own ticket through effective direct response marketing. Again, my name is Roy Furr. This is a video issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I always aim for that 10 out of 10 value. I hope that I've delivered it here, and I look forward to seeing you again in your next video. I'll see you soon. Bye.